number 10 and 12 on our Season 4 leaderboard, respectively. Big turner for both of these players. If we ended things today, Logan Mize would be the first player out of our Players' Championship race. And remember, he was in the Players' Championship last year. For Caleb Scherer, he's really starting to make a push at things. We'll have to find out if it's too little too late. But second place last weekend in New Jersey and off to a great start here in Denver. For Caleb, this is, to me, it's kind of the second step. Last weekend was the first step. This is the second step. And next weekend, well, we know he's got to have a good finish there.
Yes. It's very unlikely. You know, I don't want to undersell how difficult it's going to be for him to get to the Players' Championship. But if you had asked me 3 weeks ago, I'd have said, no way.
Yep.
Absolutely not. And now, you know, he's live. He is definitely live for this thing.
Flooded Strand's going to search up a land. I imagine we're going to have a basic plains on the way here for Logan. Warden of the first tree is now at 3-3. Caleb's going to fall down to 17. Scherer will take a draw step, just a shambling vent to start the game. Now there's a Flooded Strand. We'll see what comes next here. Does have Siege right on hand to Scherer.
Yeah, Scherer's list is not really that well suited to handle this kind of opening.
Okay.
None of his removal that he has access to in his deck can really get Warden off the table on the draw. He's got Murderous Cut, Abzan Charm, and Dromoka's Command. So when he's on the draw against Warden, he's probably going to take quite a few hits.
You just mentioned a card we haven't seen all weekend there in Dromoka's Command.
Yeah.
Feels like it's been forever since I've seen that card cast. Warden comes across for 3 more. Scherer going to fall down to 14. Let's make it 13 from the fetch land. Basic Plains, his weapon of choice here with the fetch. Now Scherer will draw. Looks like he picked up another copy of Wooded Foothills. Foothills will be the land here for Caleb, and he'll just pass the turn back. It's a very slow start. For Mize, looks like he might be sacking this fetch land on the end step. He's a little bit undecided at this point. But it appears he will sacrifice the Flooded Strand. Scherer's going to sacrifice his Wooded Foothills here. Both players shortcutting a little bit. Sunken Hollow here for Logan. Basic Forest there for Caleb. Both players a little shuffle and present action. They'll cut each other's decks. And now I think back to Logan perhaps. Yes, it is. Siege Rhino, the draw step, attack for 3. Scherer going to fall down to 9. There's land 4, there's a Siege Rhino. Going to have to interact sometime.
Yep.
Or this game's going to be over before it even begun. There's a Murderous Cut to get rid of the Rhino. Scherer's down to 6 already. He's going to draw a card for the turn.
Because of the way the Abzan deck works, it takes a while to get to 2 spells a turn, and it's a little slow out of the gates. In the mirror match, when someone has Warden on the play, it's often just a huge edge, because things are just kind of bouncing off of each other for a number of turns, and the Warden's just trucking in for 3 a shot.
Well, the Rhino's here now, looking to help stabilize this game for Scherer. 17-9 the life totals now. Mize going to play a Murderous Cut. That'll clear out the Rhino, allow the Warden to keep coming across here for 3 points of damage. Scherer going to fall down to 6 now. Caleb going to draw. Abzan Charm. That'll be an answer. For now, he's going to sacrifice that Wooded Foothills. Got to figure out what land he wants to search up here. Gonna go with Smoldering Marsh. What's next here for Scherer? Might be another Rhino. I know he's got a Wingmate Rock in his hand. Might just be Abzan Charm.
Oh, fancy.
Okay, okay. Activate Shambling Vent, Dromoka's Command, give it a +1/+1 counter.
Yeah, Dromoka's Command's the clunkier of the spells in his hand, harder to set up, get some life for his trouble.
Life is something he can certainly use right now.
Yeah, I think that's a much better way of doing it than using the Abzan Charm, which can kill all sorts of stuff.
And now Vent can start coming into the red zone.
Yeah. Fancy.
That was a little fancy.
But I like it. I think that play was pretty tight.
Windswept Heath the land. He's going to go with Flooded Strand instead. Pass the turn back. Mize will draw. I think Gideon may have been the draw.
Gideon's a big draw here.
Typically a nice one.
Not a whole lot going on in this game. And if Logan's got a second cut in his hand, he actually gets to play this with Murderous Cut backup. And Caleb may feel compelled to start trying to attack this Gideon down.
There is Gideon. Starts at 4. Looks like Logan's going to make a Knight Ally. And now simply pass the turn back. Scherer going to take a look through the deck with the fetch land, see what land he wants to search up. He'll go with the Sunken Hollows. He falls down to 7. But it's the Gideon that's probably going to force the action now.
Yeah, and I like Caleb here just drawing some cards because trying to sit back on this as a removal spell is not going to get him very far. Logan's got a bunch of spells in his hand and is ahead on the board right now. So Scherer's got to just dig for Siege Rhinos or some other sort of trump.
Scherer will draw. Looks like a Gideon of his own. This deck has some of the best 4-mana spells in the format. Gideon and Siege Rhino. Gonna fire up the Vent. You had a feeling this is what was gonna happen.
Yeah, this is where that second cut comes in.
Yeah. With how it all looks, it's so enticing to want to fire up the Shambling Vent, get some life, all that good stuff. But now a Murderous Cut here from Logan is going to take care of the Shambling Vent. And now with Caleb at 5, it becomes very difficult for him to catch back up.
Yeah, now the Gideon is lethal.
Yeah.
And other stuff is going on, so.
He's going to go down to 4 with the fetch land. Get himself a basic forest. There's Anafenza. Now we're going to go back Logan's way.
And I like Logan there, not using the Silk Wrap. Doesn't want to show that. He just says, I have you on the table. Because I can fire up my Shambling Vent. I've got a token to Gideon. You have to block Gideon. Still have 4 points coming across. Not just showing random cards in his hand if he can conceal the information.
Because he only got 2 Silk Wraps in his deck.
Yeah.
You know, so it's not a guarantee that he's playing any at all. As Logan Mize does win game number 1 here over Caleb Scherer. The Abzan Aggro Mirror currently going to number 10 on our Season 4 leaderboards. That means we'll take a look at number 12 in Caleb Scherer and his sideboard first. In 3 Duress, 2 Self-Inflicted Wound, 2 Transgress the Mind, 2 Painful Truths, 2 Ultimate Price, 2 Planner Outburst, another copy of Winged Rock, and another copy of Dromoka's Command.
I don't mind going really big in this kind of matchup. I could see going just into full control mode here with Winged Rock, Planner Outburst, the Painful Truth, and Transgress the Mind. I'm not sure if you want Ultimate Price. It is an answer to Warden, and it's also a step in it towards answering Wingmate Rock, which is one of the better cards in the mirror match. So Ultimate Price probably stays on the bench, but I think you can bring in the Planner Outburst and just go very big.
Other side of things, Logan Mize, 4 Pitiless Horde.
Not for this matchup.
You don't think so?
Esper and similar decks.
I'm not sure how Esper's beating that card, by the way.
I didn't even know this card existed until we saw the deck list. Had to look this up. This card seems just spectacular against control decks. 2
Self-Inflicted Wound, 2 Irrational Cleric, 2 Ultimate Price, a Murderous Cut, a Silk Wrap, 2 Hollowed Moonlights, and a Dromoka's Command.
Extra Dromoka's Command, extra Murderous Cut, some Self-Inflicted Wounds. Much the same story here. He doesn't have the option of going nearly as big as Scherer does because he doesn't have anything as good as Planner Outburst.
Let me tell you something. You don't fly from Florida to Denver with 4 Pitiless Hordes unless you know it's good.
I cannot believe I've never seen this card before.
Yeah, it's never been in any of the matches we've ever covered, not once.
This is right up my alley too. It's just a classic 2 good deals. Like casting, it's cool. Dashing, it's cool.
It's just all cool. It's win, win, win.
I mean, people bring in cards like Goblin Heel Cutter against control decks just because a dash creature that's reasonably sized is so good against sorcery speed removal. That thing's huge.
Yeah, 5/3, dash for 4. You can even just cast it on turn 3, and then they got to answer it.
Right, yeah. You can just cast it on turn 3, and against control decks, it's great. And leaving this back in your hand while you're applying pressure as a threat to dash, like, there's something going on here.
You know, we might be able to find some of these.
SCGDEN.com rare sale.
Yeah. Maybe during the 50% off, maybe off the 50% off select rare sale going on during the holidays.
Yes. We got a sale, holiday sale going on the whole month right now, 50% off selected rares. As you can tell by the graphics we elected to put on the screen, it's a whole wide range of rares. So just go check it out, see what's on sale. Also, we're going to have stocking stuffer deals all month long. You can see things like the figurines, deck boxes, sleeves, extended art lands. It's going to be going on for the whole month. New items get added 11 a.m. Eastern Time, Monday through Friday, so make sure to be checking the website every day through the end of the month. For good deals on Winds of Wrath, Brutal Expulsion, Notion Thief, Frontier Siege, Steel Hellkite, and who knows what else.
Potentially Pitiless Horde.
And yeah, maybe that as well.
These players will shuffle up here for game number 2. Logan Mize, the player we're going to learn a little bit more about right now. He is the Florida native, and he is number 10 on our Season 4 leaderboard. Looking to qualify for the Players' Championship is Logan. We saw him at the Players' Championship last year, and he's off to a great start. One thing about Logan that we see for the 25-year-old from Orlando, you know, when he is able to come to Open Series events, and it's tough because he does live down in Orlando, but his top 8 rate's pretty gosh darn good.
He's got an excellent conversion rate for sure because of his schedule and his location. He's not at every single Open Series event, though. Like last year, he's making a pretty good push here in Season 4 to try to make the Players' Championship. But when he's at these tournaments, he's very likely to make the top 8.
He's got 1 invitational top 8 during Season 2 of last year and 6 Open Series top 8s, most notably, I think, in Chicago earlier this year where he lost in the finals.
Yes.
Both players going to take a look at the openers. It looks like Caleb going to be taking a mulligan here. Remember, Caleb will be on the play this particular game. See if he can find 6 cards that he likes. Every win does count here for each of these 2 players. Caleb Scherer, Chris Anderson, they're the ones that are trying to make things difficult for everybody else. And you can throw Logan in that camp as well.
Yeah, although Logan is, I mean, I know that he's not necessarily qualified right now, but he's so close that he's essentially in the mix as far as I'm concerned. Chris Anderson, Caleb Scherer, those are the players trying to play spoiler.
Catching up. They are both catching up. Joshua Layton, behind Caleb Scherer there.
Nice for him to show up. Also, happy birthday to Joshua Layton.
Indeed, former player of the year. It's his 30th birthday this weekend.
Someone I got to test with for Pro Tour Dragons Maze. Exceptional Magic player. I think a surefire Hall of Famer when he's on the ballot, and also just a nice guy. Yeah. So happy birthday. Don't get to see you very often, obviously, on the Open Series, but, well, I like you a lot, at least.
I fall into that camp as well.
Yeah.
It was tough yesterday at dinner watching him eat an entire blooming onion.
I was worried, you know?
I was too.
I was wondering, maybe he had some sort of, I'm not going to make it to my 30th birthday kind of bet from back in the day with a friend of his and decided to go out with a blooming onion.
It's tough to watch one person just suck that whole thing down.
Right, Elvis on the toilet style. Like I thought I thought I was looking at a bad ending, but he's here. He sounds fine. He said, you know, he's recovered from the blooming onion.
Yeah. It's understandable why he was late today.
Yes.
Yeah. If you eat an entire blooming onion, that's your Saturday's just, it's iced.
I'm shocked you're allowed to sell it. Yeah. Quite honestly.
Here's a ward in the first tree, a sunken hollow, and we'll head back over to Caleb. Caleb wanted to get on the board a little early. That's why he played the Den Protector face up. Now he's coming in for 2. No blocks allowed here. Yeah, sorry about that. Sorry about that no blocking thing. Given the text on the Den Protector there, Logan. Gonna sacrifice a flooded strand, will Caleb. I think basic planes might be on the way.
Caleb here on the Snapping Gnarlid build for in the main deck.
The people who like Snapping Gnarlid, they really like that card. Here's Anafenza. It's a good curve out.
Yes. And, you know, on the play, you do incur a pretty big cost by playing Den Protector on the second turn of the game, as it's one of the better cards in the matchup once you get to about 5 or 6 mana. But Caleb trying to leverage this aggressive opening with Anafenza, hoping that Logan just doesn't have an answer for Anafenza, and then he's got a real good clock.
Quick update for you guys on the Pitiless Horde price check. Oh, it's on the holiday sale.
Yeah.
It's been tweeted to us. Normally, Patrick, 49 cents, 50% off select rares. It's down to 25.
Okay.
For those of you wondering at home, quite a few in stock. Warden going to come across. You saw the Abzan Charm take care of the Anafenza. Now we're going to head back Caleb's way, where he's already sacrificing a Wooded Foothills. Smoldering Marsh, the land of choice, and perhaps it's a Rhino that's on the way. Actually, I'm just going to fire up the vent, coming across here for 4. And if I'm Logan and Caleb's turn is fire up the vent,
thumbs up.
I'm real happy.
Please repeat that action for the remainder of the game.
Yes.
Not saying Caleb had better alternatives. It looks like there's at least 2 lands in his hand, but
it's a forest here for Mize. That's land 4. And we'll see what comes next here for Logan, as it looks like he does have a Gideon in hand.
he also has the option of self-inflicted wound plus pump this turn.
I think both options are pretty good, but given the opportunity to play a Gideon, I'm going to be hard-pressed to pass that up. Logan going to pass the turn back. No attacks with the Warden. Maybe looking to chump block a little.
Well, if he attacks with the Warden, the problem is if Caleb has... it doesn't take a lot for Caleb to be able to get the Gideon off the table, and it's only 1 point of damage anyway. I think at this point, Logan's probably willing to chump block with the Warden in the event that something happens to the token, and he wants to block the Shambling Vent.
Here come the attackers. Looks like there's going to be a double block on the Vent. Looking to get that land off the battlefield.
Also, you're happy kind of pumping out a stream of Knights here against Den Protector. Logan's thrilled with these exchanges. Last turn and this turn have gone very well for him.
Now he's untapping with an active Gideon.
And I think Logan made the play last turn because given that Caleb's turn was just fire up Shambling Vent and attack you, he got a sense that Caleb's hand was probably pretty soft. And now he gets to be very efficient here with a threat plus a removal spell plus Gideon's in play.
Jeez. Self-inflicted wound going to take care of Den Protector. Anafenza's here. Gideon's ticking up. And now Logan's looking to get this game over with.
Yep.
And one thing we know about Abzan, its closing speed is fantastic.
Yeah, Rhino left back in the chamber too.
Caleb going to show 4 lands, extend the hand, as Logan Mize is going to win this match here over Caleb Scherer, 2-0. The Abzan aggro mirror goes to the player on the left, and that's a big win for multiple reasons. One, Logan Mize is looking for every single point he can get, and for one person who's trying to chase him down there, and Caleb Scherer, he's just made that road more difficult.
Yes, I mean, it's a win-loss sort of scenario for the other players trying to get to the Players' Championship. You know, if Caleb doesn't make the top 8 of this tournament, you can call it right there. But Logan is right behind a couple of people that are trying to hold on.